Morning, Brother Nasima. Are you online?
Good morning, Chief.
Brother Nasima is joining us
Oh.
online. Yes.
Yes. Morning, Chief.
Good morning. Good morning.
I sent that note
Yes.
been shared, placing on record the culmination of the consultative process. There are. I also placed on record the proposed amendments and things like that. Since Mukund came in the context whether an endorsement would be required or not. So all this the conclusion that the classification. Oh, sorry. Oh, is it? I'm on motor vehicle.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Attorney, I got your note. Yes.
Along with a note, we have the letter. The letter received from the ministry, which is, I place it on record, 15th April, which outlines in seriatim the proposed amendment. In fact, after I looked into it, I thought of a few more.
But therefore, like us to now hear the matter at this stage or defer the matter for the and the proposed amendments also you have referred to.
It contains, one is the letter from the ministry which contains the detailed
Yes.
set of amendments, and along with it, the approved draft language. But that's only for placing the matter before Lodge. But a few more things that came to my mind yesterday.
The amendments that are proposed is to categorize the transport and the non-transport
That's right.
category within the bracket of LMB license, light motor vehicle
So
license.
in National Insurance Company, category of vehicle and type of vehicle said it does not make a difference. That's why the endorsement was not required there. So I thought we should take care of that question. A few more things I think, after read that.
We know that election is on, but you see, we had indicated that we'd like to see the light of whatever the proposed amendment. Any timeline in your
Only after the election. The consultation process is almost over. It has to go to a cabinet committee and all that. Then I think it will be through. And then after I got that, I had a few more suggestions. I thought I'll share it to the ministry.
For the purposes of this case, my lord, it may not make any difference because, as your lordship had seen, if I'm right in, my lord, what I had contended last time, that section 3, that proviso says that provided if you want to drive a transport vehicle, your license must specifically authorize you to do so. Therefore, the license should have had an endorsement that that your LMV license, you are authorized to drive a transport vehicle also. Now, my lord, they have made this only clearer, but they have not changed it. They have not said that you don't need an endorsement.
But then on the other hand, once the amendment will come, we will see what is the impact of this. Possibly
Just have a
There are a few more things
survive.
which I looked into it. I'm alive to that.
Just
few
have a
more
look at
things will
the
come.
proposed section 10. Just have a look at the proposed section 10, my lord. That's on the second page of that proposed amendment.
Yes.
Starts on the second page, and if your lordship has 10.2, which is on the third page. A learner's license. Does your lordship have that, my lord?
Yes.
A learner's license or a driving license, as the case may be, shall also be expressed as entitling the holder to drive a motor vehicle specified as transport vehicle or non-transport vehicle with manual gear selection or automatic gear selection, as the case may be, of one or more of the following classes, namely, and C is light motor vehicle category 1. So what they've done is they've divided light motor vehicle, which was up to 7,000 kilos, into two categories.
LMV1 and LMV2.
That's right. But they have also made it clearer than before. Earlier, my lord, one had to look at 3 proviso, etc. Now they've made it very clear that your license will indicate whether it's to drive a transport vehicle or a non-transport vehicle. So therefore, the same position as was there earlier, they're only making it clearer. So therefore, I'm not, in my humble submission, need
But
not
then-
await.
In
The only
10.1,
thing is-
in 10.1, every learner says so-and-so shall be in such form, shall contain such information, endorsed in such manner, prescribed as so-and-so. Therefore, the rules will certainly take care of all of that.
What we'll do is let them, since they are now proposing to bring about an amendment to the MB Act, let them go ahead with this process. And what we could do is we'll keep it, because, otherwise if we deliver judgment before the amendment, then what is the impact of the amendment on the judgment of the Constitution bench will again be a moot question.
Yeah.
Instead of that, we can have the amendment, see what, if you are right, that the amendment in fact makes things, the position which you are espousing clearer,
Yes.
then so much the better. Then we can always say that. We can deal with the amendment which has been brought
I have
out
no
by
difficulty
Parliament.
with that, Lord. The only issue is how long they'll take, because since your lordship had heard this matter substantially, therefore, I'm not,
We take it in, say, the second week of July.
No, I think the sessions may be only after. Let it be in the last week of July. It'll have little time to push through, because I know what kind of agendas the Parliament will have immediately. Many pending agendas are there. I won't be able to say anything now.
My lord, if I may suggest,
There's one more.
Sir,
thing.
Attorney General, one more thing.
Yeah.
When Parliament brings about the amendment, you'll also have to see what happens to those people who held licenses in the
That's
past.
right.
Will
No,
you require a sunset clause?
I've asked the ministry to take care of that so that we provide for a transition, and that there's no gap in the, as far as.
Exactly. There'll have to be some provision for
That's
a
right.
transition.
There are certain things, Malaj, we want to propose. Malaj, can we also be consulted? Because while the consultations.
They
were-
can all give.
You can give whatever you want to the ministry. The consultation process is complete,
yes.
but that you can always give what you want.
Oh,
to the
yes,
ministry.
please.
my lord,
So,
just one thing, what fell from my lord during the hearing was, my lord won't be changing anything retrospectively, because my lord, appeals are pending, everyone has got compensation. What will be done would be prospective. Even if the amendment comes, it will be prospective. So there's no point keeping this present petition unless my lord is inclined to change it from 91 and give an interpretation.
let's keep it where it is right now. Whether it is prospective, retrospective, we needn't anticipate what Parliament will do.
No, my lord, even if they bring it or change it, doesn't change it, it will be all prospective.
We don't know. Parliament has the power to do what it to legislate
We'll
retrospectively.
deal with that today, my lord. The question is what transpired from 91 till now. My lord, what fell from my lord is my lord would not give an interpretation which would change things retrospectively.
Counsel, why are you insisting on that? I mean, elaborate arguments, I think all the pros and cons have been discussed in course of the deliberations. And the government is proposing to take a call by virtue of the amendment. Whether the amendment will apply retrospectively, I'm sure they will have this thing. The Chief Justice has already indicated that there will have to be a sunset clause as well. So therefore, I don't think the submission that you are making has any bearing on the matter. You want us to write us the judge?
Lordship has already protected
before the
by the
amendment?
interim order. Our interests are protected. That will continue. That's all.
In pursuant to the order dated 22 November 2023, the Union Ministry of Roads, Transport and Highways has carried out an exercise of consultations which the Learned Attorney General has submitted a note indicating that the consultations carried out by the ministry have culminated in certain proposals for amending the Motor Vehicles Act 1988. Full stop. By its communication dated 15 April 2024, the ministry has placed on the record details of the proposed amendments to the statute. Full stop. In view of the impending general elections, the Learned Attorney General for India requests that these proceedings may be deferred until the last week of July 2024, so as to enable the Union government to bring forth proposals for the amendment of the Motor Vehicles Act 1888 before the newly constituted Parliament following the general elections. Stop. uh, the impact, if any, of the amendment which is proposed on the reference is, of course, will be decided in the course of the hearing. Full stop. In view of the above position, we stand over the hearing of the reference to the Constitution bench
Okay.
to 30 July 2024. That will be the
Lord,
first.
just one thing, Lord.
For the consultation, we are allowed to, because it will only make the process.
See, we don't have to say it's a parliamentary process, so we can't say that you shall be consulted. They will always do it. You submit your representation to MORTH.
Lordship,
Just one
like
thing.
to reiterate,
And my lords, if it's recorded.
Already completed that, yeah.
On,
They've already carried out extensive consultation. If you are so interested, you should have made your representation. Anyway, we'll not say anything. You can always submit
Just
your
one-
representation.
Just one.
reiterate, Lord, what the para 5 of the order of 22nd 11/2023 in this very matter. Lord, I'll just read that order where Lordship has given us the protection. It says that during the pendency of this reference, the judgment of the 3-judge bench. Yes, that's right. Devangan shall continue to hold the field. That's all, Lord.
So we have said that it's not until today. That is already clarified in that order.
just one thing, Lord. In the last order, what your Lordship had said was, it is understood that in the event that the issue is not resolved by that date by the union government, the proceedings shall be listed for concluding the remaining part of the hearing on 23rd April
But now that
2020.
they have virtually formalized the amendment.
I know. So all I'm saying is, would your Lordship only add this? Because if they don't do it by the next date, because Lord, at some stage. this will
If it doesn't conclude, if the government comes to the conclusion that you don't want to bring an amendment, then we'll then hear.
No, I think even prior to the set date of hearing, I'll be able to come back to the court and inform the court in advance. And the progress will certainly be intimated to the court.
All right. Now, thank you.
Lordship, yes.
We also have shared a note to the court.
Now, what do we do in this case? Because the committee has submitted its report. The government says that, because of the impending elections, we have not been able to take a final conclusion. Now, you have said that on a prima facie consideration of the report and points of view that may be presented to the court in this regard, this court may proceed to hear the matter or await the final outcomes in the consultative process and the views of the government emanating therefrom. So what would you, should we list it then for hearing and?
Please, I think.
Either way.
Because
My lords, we
as
would
far
say-
as- Yes.
Our request is your lordship should, because the government has not accepted the report and it's still being deliberated at the interministerial level. So if this process goes on, it'll go on for 6 months.
So what we can do is we are now on the 16th of April. We have basically 1, 2, and 3 weeks now. This matter take to argue?
My lord, the written submissions have come in on both sides. I think mainly it is for the government and them to argue. My lord, on our side, I think there are only 2 of us. So we will not take that.
In the issue will be, my lords, really the 4 judgments of your lordships now in TRF, Perkins and Tantia on one side and core on the other. That's really the.
There are some few other judgments also, my lord.
That's true.
There
That's
are
true.
few
That's true.
judgments also, my lord.
That's right.
In fact, there are multiple facets which will have to be considered.
2 days should be enough.
I know.
Will I?
30th of July.
July.
23rd.
My lords, and one more request, my lords. I had moved an application for de-tagging of my petition, but we are withdrawing that application for de-tagging, my
All
lords.
right, that,
That's 1205.
I've only spent some time on whether to be de-tagged or not. Now they're withdrawing, I withdraw my time spent on that.
in view of the note which has been submitted by the learned Attorney General, it has been agreed on behalf of all the council appearing on behalf of the contesting parties that the proceedings may be now listed for final hearing. The reference to the Constitution bench. The proceedings shall be listed on 30th. We'll keep it on the 30th itself. This
It may go on for a second day, my
for
lord.
a second day. So 30th, 31st, we'll wrap it up.
Yes. And my lords, I may be permitted to withdraw.
There are some people who believe it will take 3 days.
No, we'll finish it in 2 days. I mean, I don't think this reference will take longer than that. There's so many judgments now which hold appeal from Perkins onwards. What are the IAs, Mr. Jethmalani?
For one of the questions of law, pertaining to Perkins' judgment, that now all unilateral arbitration agreements stand structured as per Perkins.
That we'll have to decide.
Anyway,
We will hear everybody. No difficulty.
And your lordships are permitting us to withdraw the application, my lords, 12052?
Nodal Council has still not filed the submissions as
There are
yet.
other things that have kept coming in, Lord. So therefore, Lord, even the dates, I was going to make a request. for
Yeah,
dates also to be-
the written submissions and compilations in terms of the circular dated, now what is the date of the circular? 3 April 2024 shall be filed by the Nodal Council no later than by, we'll say,
Week of July.
by the 15th of July.
Yes.
Hence, yes, all parties seeking to file any submissions shall ensure that they are forwarded to the Nodal Council on or before 11 July 2024. So you have 4 days, then you have to just collate it and put it in a proper.
Already mostly done.
Mostly done.
Mostly
We have
done,
already
yeah.
filed our.
All right. Make sure that they are emailed to the court master so that
Yes, yes, you know.
Grateful. अच्छा जरा सा एक काम कर दो इसे मेरी अनुष्का से बात करा दो जरा।
yes,
हो गया होगा मतलब